Hey, what is up, support players? It's your boy Speed here. Or maybe you're a carry player and you're just weird and you like to watch support content. But nonetheless, in today's video, this is a line game I just played as a rank game, and I thought it played extremely well, and I want to talk about like some of the concepts that allow me to be a dominant support player, rather than just, you know, your average, mediocre version support player that has no impact and then complains that his carry didn't carry him. I'm going to show you how you can take control of the game. You can be a dominant player, right? You don't have to be submissive and breedable, and let's get into it. But before we do, two things. Don't skip. I know you're about to sky through your finger. Whoa, come on. Two things. Number one, I'm streaming on Twitch. Click the link down below. Come follow me. It's insane how much fun we're having. Literally, I constantly read the chat. We joke around, playing solo queue, doing coaching. We're gonna do 1v1s, games. It's insane. And I even have a lot of ideas that are gonna be like crazy in the future. So nonetheless, click that link. Also like the video and subscribe to the channel. I know I'm asking a lot from you guys, but we post here every single day to make you a better Dota player and have a good time. And now let's get to the video. And by the way, guys, if you want to become absolutely broken, well, what you need to do is sign up to the gameleap website down below right now. The reason why you should do that is because every single day we post a new video there. Content that you simply just will never get on YouTube, we post every single day to the website. It's really top tier stuff. I'm very proud of what I make over there. We also have other creators, many of my great friends who are top tier Dota players, creating guides about different heroes, different roles, different items, skill builds, talent builds, everything you need to know to get to the next rank. So if you feel a little bit lost, you're a little bit stuck, click the link down below. I'll see you guys there. And now let's get into the video. All right, the first play I really like is contesting the rune. Now, how do you contest a rune? The easiest way to contest a rune without making your team have to have like a brain aneurysm trying to follow you is as follows. Okay, so usually if you're on Dire, you go down and you take this rune, right? The reason why you do that is most teams, they take this rune and then they take the close rune on the hill because they feel very safe, right? They can stay close together. All you got to do to get first blood in like the majority of games is tell your team to go for the other rune. That's it. Just say it into the mic. Say, hey guys, let's fight top rune. And then ping the top rune. And most of the time, most people will come. So for instance, this game, you can see me pinging it. My shadow team was taking a little bit. Axe was completely AFK, so he wasn't there. But you can imagine that this play would have worked and we absolutely would have gotten first blood if everybody was on board. As I said earlier, unfortunately, everyone was not on board and I should have been a little bit more clear with my game plan. But this is just one of those ways that can help you take over the game. It works so consistently. They even did have a word to scout us out, which made this a little bit less good, but as you can see, it ends up being incredible anyway. We do half of the Ricky's HP to start the lane, and that's just great, right? Like, it's just a good start to the lane. Unfortunately, it's a very high HP region hero, so it's not that good, but you get the point. Most of the time, that's a first blood, and that's crazy good. The next thing I want to talk about is just movement and understanding when to auto attack and when to cast spells. So you'll see in this clip here, the enemy team goes through this like very aggressive play. I think they saw me going into the enemy triangle, right? The gyro and the Witchstalker saw me go up that hill. They're like, oh, Axe alone, let's go on him. I already had TP'd back, and so all I had to do now at this point was stun the gyro. What a lot of people would do wrong here is they would do some weird play where they overcomplicate Dota. They would like try to run here, hit some two-man stun, and they would throw like one auto attack the entire time. When you're playing a hero like Line, which I actually think is a great solo queue hero, what you want to do is just maximize the fact that this hero has some of the highest attack speed in the game and an incredibly good animation, as well as one of the best level 1 spells. And because they make this play, and I understand this, you can see my attack moving is on point. Another thing I realize as well is that most people are not actually that good at attack moving, and it makes them bad support players, right? Like, you have to be able to hit move extremely efficiently to maximize your damage on any hero. And you can see in this clip here, I do exactly that. I'm not afraid of the Switch Doctor. I'm full HP. I've got 3 tangos. He can't man up. Gyro's level 1 with Rocket. I know that. I can disengage from that. So I almost solo kill this guy, literally do an insane amount of damage to him. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, if you get good at this, where you understand how to just hit, nuke, hit, nuke, hit, without aggroing the creeps too much, and you go this hard with a hero like Axe, you're gonna dominate your lanes. Most supports just kind of AFK and don't do anything, but you can see I'm constantly moving through the wave. Let me slow this down a little bit to even show you what I mean and show you ways that I take less damage when hitting. So right here, I start hitting this guy. I'm soaking a little bit of creeps, but you notice I'm kind of moving to the side and moving away from this creep in particular. I don't want to stand still because even if you move even slightly, it makes this creep have to take a step and it prevents you from getting hit by the creep right away. I know it's minuscule, but that's what Dota is. It's just, you know, kind of maximizing the little things. Another thing is that's funny is like a lot of the time people have this bad association where if their offlaner or safe laner is dying and they're playing support, that they have to run away. But you'll see in this clip here, I recognize that this guy's half HP. They've committed all of their spells onto my axe. Gyro literally doesn't have mana, neither does Witch Doctor. And so I just straight up man up. Like you can see, I'm absolutely annihilating this Gyrocopter. He's getting destroyed. I completely solo kill Witch Doctor and then zone out Gyro entirely from the lane. And this is one of those examples where most people just would have played too passive. But let's move on. The next thing I want to talk about is me taking Impale at level 3. The reason why I take Impale at level 3 rather than Hex, which is generally the standard build going 1-1-1, the reason why I do that is I identified that in this lane, I didn't feel like we could burst anyone from full to nothing. I felt that because I was actually ahead in the lane and I had a good start, I had high levels compared to what I often would have, I'd rather take the Impale, have, you know, this spell, which it doesn't necessarily scale the best, which is often why people skip it, right? In fact, it actually goes up in mana by quite a lot, 30. A lot of spells don't scale that poorly in that regard, but because of how the lane was playing out, I make this adjustment. Once again, I don't think I'm going to be bursting the Gyro. Axe is not a burst damage hero in the early game, and therefore I just play around the stun, and I'm going to continue to spam it, right, until I literally do not have mana, right, which is not going to be soon with mana burn. And you can see it just makes this Gyro's lane impossible because I've identified how I need to play the lane, I identified how I need to play the lane around the axe, and I've done my skill build around it as well as my item build. Because I got that kill into the Witch Doctor, I rush Tranquils, I take my E, right? I rush Tranquils, I take my E, which optimizes the fact that I'm just going to be spamming nukes, and I take my Q as well. And you add all this together, and you get a very dominant laning stage, even though Axe was constantly trying to kill himself. Moving ahead as well, unfortunately Axe did not have the game of his life. He was overextending quite a bit, just tanked the tower, and so I stack. It's another good thing, right? Stacking is like, it's crazy how little people stack. I even played with the Coddle recently and I was Luna, just didn't really stack. And it was just like, I don't know why. Stacking's broken, guys. It gives, what, 45% of the gold? That's crazy. Like, literally, that is crazy. How much gold it is? On top of that, you should sap the XP from the stacks like 9 out of 10 times. Because most cores don't need the XP if you've already given them a good lane. And then you hit like an early level 6 because of this. It's a huge win-win. And anytime your offlaner's feeding and is a hero that can take stacks as well, it's a great way to help them recover. Right? Like, my Terror Blade doesn't necessarily want to take ancient stacks, but Axe definitely can. Moving ahead here as well, I'd like to talk about the next timing of the game, which was right after these stacks. So I end up going mid. I have an Ember, right? A very aggressive hero, definitely a hero that can be very aggressive on Tiny in particular. So there's that. I also identified that the Tiny was low. Notice how, like, I know the resource battle before I go mid. Most people do it the opposite way, which is they go mid, then they try to identify whether or not they can kill him. You need to decide what you can do before you actually go there. Like, I know it sounds simple, but it's a game-changing just idea to follow. And because I'm high HP here, this play ends up being extremely good. I hit a 2-man stun, get the Hex onto the Tiny, double kill for your Chaboy. Actually, no, I didn't get both. That ends up being a really nice sequence. I hit an early level 5, and I'm off to an incredible start. Following that, because of my good laning stage in combination with this Ember play, and then the ancient stacks, I'm able to hit an incredibly early level 6. You notice that my Axe, he doesn't really need the levels. It's not that levels are bad. Of course, level 8, 9, 10, all points in Berserker's Call are great on Axe. I'm not denying that, but at the same time, an early level 6 online is much more valuable than the early level 8 of an Axe, and that's how I see it here. So I'm more than happy to sap this XP. There was nothing under the tower yet, so I sap the ancient XP, I get level 6. Honestly, this was even a little bit greedy for me. I sap this up too. I'm level 6.5 at minute 9, and what do you think I'm going to do? Right? What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to look for the first lane I can kill. Is it bottom? Probably not. Axe doesn't have a blink tagger. So instead, what am I going to do? Am I going to go top with the Shadow Demon? Probably not, right? It's maybe a thing. It's not terrible. It's maybe a thing. Well, my best bet is my Ember Spirit. So where do you think I go? Well, I was trying to go to my Ember Spirit. Unfortunately, I bumped into a Gyro. But eventually, slowly but surely, I do go to my Ember. I do think I should have smoked here. I don't know why I didn't. Definitely just one of those situations where anytime you get your big ulti, whether or not it's Fiend's Grip, Finger, AA Blast, just pop a smoke and get a kill with it. But nonetheless, play works out. I've identified my playmaker. I get my spell that lets me make plays, and then I make plays with it. And this is like what people do wrong, right? I can test a 6-minute fight because it's a 6-minute rune, right, with the Ember. Then I stack, and then I hit my ulti, and then I make another play. It's not just random. Right? Most people are just random. Next play as well is, as a position 4, one thing that happens a lot in pubs is safe laners go to your offlane, right? They go to the enemy safe lane. And when that happens, very often you want to secure the tower push for them, if that's their play. So like right here, my TB wanted to make this play. I completely whiff a stun, you know, top 300 player, just, you know, making mistakes like that. Love to see it. And we get the tower. But kills like that and that concept is very important, right? If your safe laner can't lane top or in his lane, it's very important that you coordinate, you know, a set of ganks to secure that tower and that farm for him. And moving on from there, now my axe has a blink. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm just going to follow him around the map. It's basically that or stacking ancients, and that's going to be my gameplay. Honestly, even here, I think I make a big mistake of not stacking ancients. I believe way too many people make the mistake of trying to make way too many plays in Dota. If you get ahead, it doesn't mean you have to keep ganking, ganking, ganking. If you don't have finger, it's not that you can't do anything, but it definitely means that, hey, my Ember's low on mana, let's chill, let's farm it up, and I like that that's what my team did, and it made this game very, very easy. The next play I want to talk about is cutting across the map. I've actually talked about this a couple times on stream as of late now, and it's the idea of becoming unpredictable. And honestly, the best way to do that is cutting across the map. So you'll see we made a play just bottom. What do you think that's going to spur the enemy carry to do? Actually, let me ask you guys the question. If you were the enemy gyrocopter, and you see that we just took a fight in the triangle, where are you going to go farm? Pretty simple answer, right? You're going to go top. Of course you're going to go top. They're bottom, you go top. That's like the basics of carry. So what do you think me and my Shadow Demon do? Honestly, it would have been better if the smoke was with Ember or Axe, but to be fair, if Ember or Axe are showing, then the enemy gyro will actually be a lot more comfortable, so there's some legitimacy there. But, of course, gyro's going to go top. We didn't know it at the time. In fact, I didn't see anyone top. But why do we go top? It's because we can expect someone to go there. So I put down this ward, thank God I have the keen optic, I can place it from really far away. We can see where this gyro is going to go now. So this word gives us really nice information. You can see patience, patience, patience. I know we have no Shadow Demon ulti. It's going to be very hard to kill this gyro. He's very tanky. And so we wait. We see him walk up. What does that tell us? He's most likely going to go to the top wave. I ping to my axe where he's going to go. And what do you think happens? We kill the gyrocopter. Of course, he didn't expect it. I have no idea why we disrupted there. But of course, he didn't expect it. And we end up getting a really nice gyrocopter kill. That also opens up the bottom side of the map for Terrorblade, as well as it will force a Void Spirit TP afterwards. But yeah, like, just keep that in mind, guys. That whole idea of, like, rotating the sides of the map. This applies not only to, like, the 10 to 15 minute mark of the game, it applies to literally every single timing of the game. Like, literally every single timing. And people don't get that. They really don't get that. And yeah, that ends up being about the end of this game. It was a complete stomp. And to be fair, my mid laner did technically win. It's not like he was way ahead, though, before my ganks. However, I did set up 2 very key kills onto the Tiny this game. I also dominated the bottom lane. Gyro didn't end up having that bad of a game because of the kills he got onto the axe, but you can imagine if I didn't apply the constant pressure that I did, Witch Doctor would have had a lot more farm, Gyro would have been able to CS a lot better, probably get more denies as well, and put more pressure on the axe. So everything really adds up. Dota's absolutely a game of snowball. And also another thing to think about as well is the fact that we killed Gyro with my axe blink. We also killed Tiny with the axe blink. Maybe if I didn't stack the ancients when I did, right, in the convenient timing that I did, Axe would have gotten a later blink. That later blink would have lost us some kills. Losing those kills might have gotten someone else on my team killed, and that's how Dota goes. That's why it's such a fun game. Because if you mess up one thing, it can literally turn into a snowball of death that you literally cannot even see, which is actually kind of scary. But nonetheless, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. All you support players, definitely keep your head in the game and keep trying to stomp lane. That's the main thing I can recommend. If you're trying to get good at supporting, it's not like stomping lane guarantees you the game, but if you can consistently make stacks for your carries and actually give them a 500 to 1,000 gold lead every single game based on your good pulls, good harassing, good sentries, good blocking large camps, you will eventually gain MMR. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm out. Peace. And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below. And I'm out. Peace.